before.
Welcome back to Broadscast. We're here with Lisa Lillien, a.k.a. Hungry Girl. We are huge in that place that you've never been.
I'm going to go there.
Yeah, you should go there.
Right now.
You should
So
go
finish
there.
your thoughts. So how did you find that thing you have to have inside you?
I mean, for me, I love working. And I always say the same thing. If you want to start your own business, you have to love working. You have to love what you do. You can't be lazy. I feel like I said it before, but a lot of people these days are lazy and they don't know how they want to get there, but they want to be rich, famous, the boss, blah, 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 blah. But that's not what should drive you. What should drive you is your passion and something that you love. And not to sound cliche, but if you do what you love, you'll be better at it and you'll succeed at it. And that's like the number one thing I try to say to people that I know that are younger, like do internships and go out and play around in a field you think is interesting.
Experience.
And if you don't, you're going to end up in a job like that you probably don't like, but all of a sudden you're going to start making more and more money, and then it's going to be 5 years and 10 years.
It's going
and
to
then
get easy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you're just like, well, I could have done this,
stuck.
I should have done that. Or, like, I'm not big on vision boards. I don't understand
I
the
love
vision
a vision board.
All right,
Me
but here's
neither.
the
It doesn't
thing.
work
The
for me.
time you're
Yeah.
spending flipping through magazines and cutting out pictures of things that you want to happen is time you should be making those things actually happen and not using your glue stick and your glitter pen. I'm sorry. Like, not to
I'm the
sound
same
like
way. I have so
it's
many friends that have
irritating
their
to
vision
me.
board in their bathroom. I'm like, I
But
just,
can I tell you the truth?
What?
My husband and I put up vision boards in our room, and they're still empty. Like, they've been up for like 2 years.
Well, you have
They're
everything
just
you
those,
want.
like fabric. Maybe that's why things are so slow.
But I think part of what you're saying, we all buy into sometimes, these concepts, like, a fad or something that makes us feel like we're doing something important. But half the time, we're not actually doing what's important.
Right.
Right. You just have to take action. I'm like a big action person. That's why I like results. I'm very results oriented. I don't like hearing things like, I'm really trying. Well, I don't know what that means.
Right.
Like, what does that mean exactly? Like, what have you done to try to achieve your goals? But again, your goals should be to actually want to do something specific and not just to be like, I want a company like you have.
Right.
Or like, I want to do what you do only for cars and I can't write and I'm not creative and I'm not.
And I need to be done working by 3 p.m.
Yes, exactly. Because I need to, pick my kid up from soccer.
Yeah.
or whatever
And
it is.
how much did your husband support you and involve himself in what you were doing? Or did he just say, you know what, girl, go for it?
He really inspired
Does he
me
call you
because
girl?
He calls me girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Yeah, with the snap.
I'm picturing Dan.
Truly, Dan is the best, and I thank goodness for him because like he inspired me because he's like really the captain of his ship and he has the coolest, most creative job and he's a genius and I couldn't love him more and respect him more. And I would come home from work and be jealous of like his world.
Yeah.
And I had a good job. I was a VP at Warner Brothers, but I would complain. And literally he just would say to me, listen, quit your job if you don't like it. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But I don't want to hear you complain when you come home from work.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, that's fair. Then I need to do something that I really love. So that's what really inspired me to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. Because I do love to work. I was never going to be that person that's like having lunch with my friends at the mall. I like the mall sometimes, but
Not to have lunch there.
Yeah, but hot dog on a stick.
But I love that entrepreneurial life because, even just doing the show, like we're sending emails at, 6 a.m. or whatever time and, just making it happen. It's not like there are work hours. If you love it, and I love this,
Yeah, but the reality too, though, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. We took a break because we had it wasn't putting, money in our pockets for a long time. And so, and it still isn't, but I think that, when you're juggling a family and I'm a single parent, so there isn't anybody helping me to make sure that my mortgage payment is paid. So sometimes the things that I love get put on the back burner because the reality is they're not paying my bills. And
that is totally true.
And that's hard to balance that.
But like Tony Robbins, you ever hear Tony Robbins talks about it? And he's like, you work these hours, and then for a couple of years, you're not going to get sleep. Like if you love it that much,
That's
you just
the
have
important
to put
thing.
that in.
It's true, and you are so right. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was not the person that was going to take a fantastic job and push it aside and take that risk.
Yeah.
I was really fortunate in that I had a husband that has a really good job, and he was very supportive and said, if you don't make money for a while, it's fine.
Yeah.
And so I cannot say, well, I would have done it anyway. I would have lived on, boxed mac and cheese only. I just wouldn't. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So I think every person has a different situation and obviously different
I love that
scenario.
you're honest about that. Because there are a lot of people who would be, it didn't matter to me. It was my passion. And,
that's not me. There are people that are that way.
But people say to me, whenever I say, it's hard for me at the end of the day to find the creativity and the energy to, after I put the kid to bed, to then go back and do the things I love. And they say, well, those are excuses. I'm like, no, it's reality. And if I want to go be great at something I love, I don't want to do it at midnight because I'm not at my full potential. And it's hard to balance all those things. And
it is. And by the way, I don't have children. So I don't know what it's like. I'd be lying to you if I told you, it's easy to take care of a child or children all day and then go and do this stuff. So I made a choice to not have kids.
Yeah, I'd rather be at half potential at midnight than not do it at all, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to me...
And that works for you.
There has to be... I'm just, working for other people, and it does pay the bills and all that, but there's something I know that I can do for what I do for others for myself. And it may not be tomorrow that, I'm at a place of success, but I know it will happen if I don't give up.
Yeah, and if you love what you're doing, it's your hobby too. So what are other people doing? Some people might be reading a book. Some people might be knitting. Some people might be buying things on Amazon Prime or whatever it is that makes you happy. But if you really love what you do, you don't feel like you're working.
Well, I also think you have to surround yourself with people that have that same mentality too, because it's really easy to find yourself stuck in a rut when you're around everybody else that's making similar excuses or finding themselves at the same place. I have a girlfriend of mine. She says, well, I just go to work every day. It's just my job. And she just sounds so ho-hum about it. And she's just miserable. And there's nothing in her that wants to change because it's easy and, it pays the bills. But I'm thinking, don't you want to be happy when you're here? There's nothing about it that, there's no...
But that's
sad. Those are live for Friday people. Yeah. But those are live for noon lunch people. That's live for 5 o'clock. Yeah. Live for Friday, live for Christmas. But it's just like living
in your hometown, though. Like, some people want to go out and discover the world. Some people want to have that safety. They want to have... and I think it's not necessarily our place to judge what makes other people... happy if she is, or maybe you can't imagine that happy. Existence. But
I was not judging. But go ahead, Lisa.
I guess what I was going to say is I feel like those are two different things. It's one thing to want to feel safe and live in your hometown, and I kind of like that actually because I wish LA was more of a hometown kind of place. I was saying where we are right now feels like Mayberry a little bit, and I love it. But as far as your job, I think it's sad for anyone to have a job where they get in at 9 and they're like, thank God it's lunchtime. Oh, it's Thursday. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah. Anyone that just really is waiting for the next thing you're just wishing your life away. Yeah. You should have something that makes you feel good and productive and satisfied for the time you're there.
Right. Yeah. And if you did have children, you'd be like us and say, TGIM. Thank God it's okay, never mind.
No, if I had kids, I wouldn't do what I do because I'm like an all or nothing person. I think it would be really hard. I wouldn't go on book tours. I wouldn't travel a lot. Right. I hate leaving my animals.
Lolly,
I know,
dog.
I have a dog and a cat.
But I think most famous dog ever.
I don't know about that. Lassie might have a bone to pick with you. No pun intended.
I think you put those things in perspective, though. I as much as I complain about being a single mom, I am able to do things that I love and. I have a book coming out in September, and I got to plan for that, and I'm thinking, how in the heck am I going to organize my life because I don't want this one thing that I love to suffer. And so it's just priority, and it's shifting, and it's balance, and sometimes that's exhausting.
It is. But, it is. It's easy if, I'm a type A personality, so, my day is all mapped out in my brain.
Oh, my God.
Every second of the day. Wow. If you're like, where are you going to be at 4:02? I could tell you.
If I show up somewhere, I'm like, yay, I succeeded.
Well, right now, where are you going to be as a break? So we'll be right back. You're listening to Broadscast with Hungry Girl. Welcome back. I, again, want to mention our lovely sponsor for today's episode, JC's Pie Pops. You've had one of these Pie Pops.
I have. I'm probably not supposed to talk about it because I'm hungry girl and all, but, I live by the 80-20 rule, and they're to die for amazing.
They're creamy. They're crunchy. They're incredible. And
it's all true. It says those things on the box, but they really live up to it.
And they can be found in your grocer's freezer.
The caramel apple is my favorite.
Do you have a grocer?
By the way.
Do I have my personal grocer?
Yeah, in my house?
I just think it's so cute. Your grocer's freezer is this little guy. Oh, well, who was the guy on... What was
Mr. Whipple?
Yeah, no, but no, on Sesame. Was it Sesame?
The toilet paper guy.
Oh,
Mr. Whipple.
Mr. Hooper.
I'm good at this pop culture trivia.
Yeah. To find them, go to piepops.com. So, do you know, I used to take kickboxing from Mr. Whipple's son.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, Stuart.
I met Mr. Whipple when I worked at TV Land.
Oh, yeah?
I had him sign rolls of Charmin that I kept in a display case in my house. And then one day we were moving furniture and I had to take it out and the housekeeper ripped it open and put the toilet paper in the bathroom after like 20 years.
You have to see her house. It's like all
funny.
this old TV stuff. It's like I always joked with you that she likes to collect things from 80s television, including her husband.
He is just a collectible.
Because he was Dennis on
Head of the Class.
Head of the Class.
He was.
Right.
Yes,
But it's just, I'm like, you really take it to heart, like the collecting.
So you just hit on a point about being Hunger Girl and not being able to talk, like, kidding, I know about the pie pops, but do you find that people hold you to a different standard?
I mean, I find that people,
you can't be heavy ever.
Things happen. Like, I try to keep my weight. I go up and down 5 pounds. But, like, if I go out to lunch with people, they'll wait and see what I order. And they'll be like, I'm just going to have what she had. Or don't judge me. I'm going to eat a piece of bread. Or I'm going to have some butter. And, I'm just like, I'm a person. And I definitely, there's nothing that I don't eat. It's just, I try to watch what I eat when I can. And if I'm out somewhere and I want a few bites of dessert, I'm not going to eat everything all at once. I'm not eating the bread and the potatoes and the dessert. I live by the 80-20 rule. But, yeah, people do tend to want to stare at my plate, which can be annoying.
It's a very healthy attitude, though, that, the 80-20 thing, because we should look at life like I want to 80% of the time I want to eat everything.
But you look
not
at me
just
and you
food.
think I'm dieting when I do that. You said that to me 2 weeks ago. What? Oh, the blank stare.
Uh-oh. Is this the Jackie, like, I'm on a diet, off the diet mentality?
We've talked, because we talk about this, like, because I'm thin.
Because she's naturally thin.
And so people always think that I'm dieting or that it's purposeful the way that I eat, but I kind of am like you. Like, I just my natural weight, and I eat what feels good, and I don't gorge myself on one thing.
Yeah, but I think that's the difference. You do it with a mindset of being careful.
Well, because I know me. Like, I'm not naturally thin. My body wants to probably be 40 pounds heavier, and I want to eat everything else that I can, and I want to eat like a 12-year-old boy and eat Twinkies and pizza and ice cream and french fries, and I can't. Like, you have to just be very mindful of what you eat.
Right.
And I tell people that all the time, and it's like unfortunately, a lot of people have the mentality, I'm on a diet or I'm off a diet. And when they're on a diet, they eat nothing that's bad at all or whatever that somebody would consider wrong. And when they're off the diet, they're eating everything. It's like we were all in high school ordering french fries and a Diet Coke and being made fun of. Like, why are you eating the Diet Coke with the french fries?
Because it tastes better, first of all.
Well, I agree with that. But you save where you can. It's like it's a give and take. It's like think about it as your money, like your bank account. Mm-hmm. Why are you buying this? Why are you buying the $15 Target pants and the fancy bag? Because you can't buy everything.
Right.
It's the same with food.
Right.
But it's also what you just said, though, about proportions and being healthy and making healthy choices. And I think that's where, I hate the term dieting because I think it is very restrictive and limiting, and I think it causes people to behave in a way that doesn't feel healthy and natural and normal. And I think that's partly why, for me, why I love your site, because it really does just normalize everything, and it teaches you about proportion, and it teaches you how to love all the things that you want in a way that's still healthy and doesn't...
It's more of a lifestyle, a lifestyle change.
Yeah. But it's a fun way. It's not, like some of the others where this is bad and don't ever do, like, people get on their soapbox. Like, there's no soapbox with Hunger Girl. That's what I love.
That's true. And here's another problem with the way people tend to think, because it's because of their laziness. But they want to grab onto one thing. So if they think gluten's the enemy, well, if they're gluten-free, they're going to be a twig. That's not the case.
You're right.
I'm only eating organic. I'm going to be skinny. That's not the case. I only shop at Whole Foods. I'm healthy and I'm thin. No,
and broke.
You're not. Yeah, that's true. Healthy, thin, and broke. But it's just not that. You have to think about, there's just more to the story.
Right.
And
always.
Always. And that's
why. It's a marketing tool. People are finding tools, and back when you started, I mean, there was like the Zone and Atkins.
Well, it was low carb back then. Like, everything was like carbs at the end.
But I will say, I know for me, when like yesterday at the show I'm working on, other than this, they had, lunch out between shows, and it was very, very carb heavy. At least my choices were very, very. And the rest of the day, I was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, I could feel my puffy. It was like,
yeah.
Well, then, I mean, you bring up a good point. And the number one thing I tell people is that there's not one answer for everybody. So you have to pay attention to what makes you feel however you feel. For me, if I eat like starchy carbs, I want to eat them all day and I can't stop eating. I'm hungrier. If you know that, then avoid them.
Then you can be hungrier girl.
Hungrier girl. I like it. It has a nice ring to it.
I mean, given the fact that you don't have a soapbox and you're not like preaching like, why is it that the haters still come out?
Well, the haters come out because they just want, especially on social media, they just want to contradict whatever is being said because they just want to be different. They want to be heard. They want someone to pay attention to them. I can't figure it out.
But they're so mean.
They are, unnecessarily so.
Yeah.
I know, but
do
I
you
fight
take it
back
to heart?
sometimes.
Do you take
I
it?
do, but I've learned how to take it with a grain of salt. But it's annoying, sure.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
human.
did do a post. You said, why do people feel the need to be negative, judgmental, and flat out mean in social media? If you don't like someone's shirt you see walking down the street, do you walk up to them and scream, hey, your shirt is hideous? No, do that and you'll be considered a jerk and likely have few friends. Practice the same courtesy here, please. If you don't like a post or the page, please leave and do not return. It's that simple.
Yes, I kick
I
people
love
off the
it.
page all the time.
Yeah.
Get out. And it's funny, Dan is the one that
Get off
told
my
me,
lawn.
Get off my property. I mean, Dan is the one that said block people from your page if they're not behaving. And I was like, why would I do that? Everyone deserves a voice. And he's like, Lisa, if someone came into our house and sat in our living room and spilled red wine all over our white
Are you
couch,
talking about the last time I was there?
or like started hitting your dog or telling you were hideous, would you let them stay? And I'm like, no. Okay, I'm blocking them all. And that's what happened. It's like you wouldn't want them in your house.
And Kim gets a lot of haters.
I get horrible
we have
emails.
we got to go to break,
Yeah.
but we got to hear about that.
I want to hear about your
When we come
haters.
back. Lisa
I don't wanna
Lillien,
punch
Hunger
them.
Girl. We'll be right back on Broadscast.